What's the worst thing that could happen on a first date? I used to ask that question like it was a joke. Bad conversation, catfishing, maybe getting stuck paying for expensive drinks while pretending to laugh at stories I didn't care about. That was my idea of a nightmare. Now I know better. Because 3 months ago, I went on a Tinder date with someone who should not have existed. And before you assume I'm exaggerating or trying to make myself sound dramatic online or whatever, I deleted the app the next morning. I changed my number. I moved out of my apartment less than 2 weeks later. I still sleep with the lights on. It started around midnight on a Thursday. I couldn't sleep, so I was doing what everybody does when they're lonely and restless. Scrolling through dating apps, pretending not to care. Most profiles blurred together after a while. Gym selfies, fake travel photos, bios copied from social media posts. Then hers appeared. No bio, just 4 pictures. The first was a dim mirror selfie taken in what looked like a bathroom with flickering lights. The second was outside at night, blurry enough that I couldn't really make out her face. The third was strange because it looked older than the others, grainy, like it had been scanned from film. The last picture was just her smiling directly into the camera. That smile bothered me immediately. Not because it looked creepy exactly, because it looked rehearsed, like someone trying to imitate what a smile is supposed to look like after only hearing it described. I almost swiped past her. Then I noticed we had matched, instantly, before I'd even finished looking at the profile. I remember actually frowning at my phone because I knew I hadn't swiped yet. Then a message popped up. "You took long enough. No capitalization, no punctuation, just that." I laughed a little and typed back, "Guess I was making sure you weren't a serial killer." 3 dots appeared immediately. Would that matter if I was? That should have been enough for me to stop. But it was late. I was bored. And honestly, weird confidence on dating apps was kind of refreshing compared to the usual small talk. So we kept talking. The conversation moved fast. Too fast. She answered every message almost instantly, like she was already waiting with a response before I typed anything. At first it was playful, then it got strange. She started bringing up details I hadn't told her, like where I worked, what kind of car I drove, the fact that I cracked my knuckles when nervous. I remember staring at my screen thinking maybe we knew each other somehow, mutual friends maybe. So I asked, "How do you know all that?" 3 dots. Then, "You tell people more than you realize." I should have unmatched her. Instead, I asked if she wanted to meet. I don't know why. Maybe because part of me assumed there had to be a normal explanation. Maybe because human beings are stupidly curious when something feels wrong. She sent an address immediately. Not a restaurant, not a bar, a house on the edge of town. I hesitated for almost 10 minutes before leaving. The entire drive there felt off. The roads got emptier the farther I went. Fewer streetlights, less traffic. My GPS started cutting in and out once I reached the wooded area near the address. Then the rain started. Not heavy rain. That thin, cold drizzle that makes everything look oily under headlights. I finally reached the road. Only 3 houses sat on it. 2 were completely dark. The third had a porch light glowing faintly yellow through the rain. I parked across the street and checked the profile again. Gone. The entire account had disappeared. No messages, no match, nothing. I sat there for a full minute, debating whether to leave. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Come inside," I looked toward the house. The front door was already open. I should have driven away. I know that's what everyone listening to this is thinking right now. But there's something important you need to understand about fear. Real fear doesn't always hit immediately. Sometimes your brain refuses to accept something is wrong until it's way too late. So I got out of the car. The rain soaked through my jacket almost instantly as I crossed the street. The porch creaked under my feet. And the second I stepped inside, I smelled bleach, strong enough to sting my nose. The house was almost empty. No pictures, no decorations, no television. Just dim lamps and old furniture covered in white sheets like the place had been abandoned for years. Then I heard her voice upstairs. "You came." Soft, almost excited. I looked toward the staircase. She was standing at the top, wearing a dark sweater and staring down at me with that same smile from the profile picture. Only now it looked worse. Too still. Her eyes barely blinked. "You actually came." I forced a laugh. "Yeah, figured I'd say hi before getting murdered." Nothing. No reaction. She just kept staring. Then slowly started walking downstairs. Every step creaked, and I noticed something strange immediately. She wasn't wearing shoes. Her feet were filthy. Mud caked across her skin like she'd been walking outside barefoot for hours. When she reached the bottom step, she tilted her head slightly. "You joke when you're uncomfortable." I felt this weird tightness in my chest. "How'd you know that?" "I know lots of things about you." That smile widened slightly. Not naturally, like the skin stretched instead of the expression changing. I remember glancing toward the door behind me, still open, rain blowing softly against the frame. And for the first time, I thought maybe I should leave, but she stepped closer. "You're different in person." "Good different or bad different?" Another pause. Then, smaller. Something about the way she said it made my stomach drop. I asked if she lived there alone. She ignored the question. Instead, she walked into the kitchen and asked if I wanted a drink. I said no. She poured one anyway. The whole time she moved around the kitchen, she kept glancing at me over her shoulder without fully turning her head, like an owl. I know how ridiculous that sounds, but that's exactly what it looked like. Then she asked, "Do you believe people can belong to each other?" I laughed nervously. "That's kind of intense for a first date." "Answer." Her voice changed when she said it, flatter, colder. I shrugged. "I mean, no, people aren't property." She stared at me for several seconds, then nodded slowly like she was pretending to understand something. "That's why people leave." I noticed then that her fingernails were stained dark red around the edges. Not nail polish, something under them. I stood up. "I should probably get going." The smile vanished instantly. Not faded. Vanished. Like flipping off a light switch. "Why?" "I've got work early." "You lied." That hit me hard because I had lied. I worked afternoons. I never told her my schedule. She stepped closer again. Too close. "You said you were free tomorrow." I genuinely don't remember telling her that. Maybe I did, but the way she said it felt wrong, like she'd memorized every word I'd ever typed. Then her expression softened suddenly. Too suddenly. "Sorry." She touched my arm. Her hand was freezing cold. "I just don't want tonight to end yet." That should have sounded sweet. Instead, it made every nerve in my body tense up. Because she wasn't asking. She was warning me. Then I heard something upstairs. A thud, heavy, like something falling over. I looked toward the ceiling. "You got a roommate?" Her eyes stayed locked on me. "No." Another thud, definitely upstairs. This time followed by what sounded like dragging, slow dragging. I took a step back. "What was that?" She smiled again and whispered, "Don't worry about them. Them, not it. Them." I felt adrenaline hit me so fast my hands started tingling. I moved toward the door. She moved with me immediately. Not aggressive, not rushing, just matching my pace perfectly. "You're scared now. I think I should leave. You said you wanted something real. I don't think this is real." That made her expression twitch. Actually, twitch. Like anger briefly broke through whatever performance she was doing. Then she said something I'll never forget. "People always say that right before they see." The lights went out. Complete darkness. I heard movement upstairs immediately. Fast movement. Running. More than one set of footsteps. I backed into the wall near the front door and fumbled for my phone flashlight. Then I heard her breathing, right beside me, even though I hadn't heard her move. The flashlight clicked on. She was inches from my face, smiling wider than before. Too wide. Her lips trembling at the corners like they were splitting. Then another voice spoke from upstairs. A man's voice. Weak. "Help me," I froze. The voice came again. "Please." Then a loud crash. I shoved past her and yanked the front door open. The rain outside felt like ice against my face. I sprinted toward my car. Behind me, I heard her laughing. Not screaming, not yelling, laughing, like this was fun. I got inside the car and locked the doors. My hands shook so badly, I dropped my keys twice trying to start the engine. Then I looked up. She was standing on the porch, completely still in the rain, watching me. But she wasn't alone anymore. Another figure stood behind her in the doorway. Tall, thin, head tilted unnaturally sideways. I couldn't make out its face. The car finally started. I reversed so fast I nearly hit a mailbox. And as I turned the car around, my headlights swept across the upstairs window. There were people standing there, at least 3, maybe 4, all motionless, watching. I called the police before I even reached the main road. I told them everything. Well, almost everything. I left out the parts that sounded insane. They said officers would check the property. The next afternoon, I got a call back. The house was empty, completely abandoned. Utilities shut off for over 8 years. No furniture, no people, no sign anyone had been there recently. I told them they were wrong. I described the inside of the house perfectly. The kitchen, the staircase, the sheets over the furniture. The officer got quiet for a second. Then he asked me a question that still makes my skin crawl. "How did you know about the sheets?" I didn't answer. Because according to him, there weren't any windows left in the house. Most of the roof had collapsed years ago. The second floor wasn't safe to walk on, and the front porch had rotted away almost completely. Nobody could have been standing on it. I drove back there 2 days later during daylight. I don't know why. Maybe I needed proof I wasn't losing my mind. The house was there, but it looked nothing like what I saw that night. It was decaying, caved in, dead vines climbing the walls. The porch sagged inward like wet cardboard. No lights, no furniture, nothing. Then I noticed something near the front steps. Fresh footprints in the mud, bare feet leading into the woods, not out of them, into them. I left immediately. That should have been the end of it, but it wasn't. Because that night, I got another notification. Not from Tinder, from a different app entirely. A message request from a blank profile. One picture attached. It was me, standing in the rain outside that house, taken from the upstairs window, and beneath it, one sentence. "You left too early. If you enjoyed tonight's story, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. And if you have a creepy story of your own that you'd like featured on talesthyme, send it to talesthyme@gmail.com. Your story could be next.